Crash course on United Kingdom, UK. How was England formed? The United Kingdom, UK, is a country located in Western Europe. It is composed of 4 countries: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. The UK has a rich history and culture, with a long-standing monarchy, a parliamentary system of government, and a diverse population. History. The UK has a long and storied history that dates back to the Roman Empire. The Romans occupied much of what is now England, building roads and settlements that still stand today. After the Romans left, the Anglo-Saxons arrived, followed by the Vikings and Normans. In 1066, William the Conqueror, a Norman king, invaded England and established the monarchy that still exists today. Over the centuries, the UK grew in power and influence, building a vast empire that spanned the globe. The UK played a major role in both World War I and II, and its influence in international affairs remains strong. Government. The UK has a parliamentary system of government, with a monarch as the head of state. The monarch's role is largely ceremonial, and the government is led by a prime minister who is chosen by the ruling party in parliament. The UK also has a bicameral parliament, consisting of the House of Commons and the House of Lords. Culture. The UK has a rich cultural heritage, with a diverse population that includes people from all over the world. English is the official language, and the UK has a long history of literature, music, and art. The country is home to some of the world's greatest museums, including the British Museum and the National Gallery. One of the UK's most famous cultural exports is its music. From the Beatles to Adele, the UK has produced some of the most popular and influential music of the past century. The UK is also known for its theatre, with London's West End being home to some of the world's most famous productions. Another aspect of UK culture that is worth noting is its food. While the UK has a reputation for bland, boring food, it has a surprisingly rich culinary heritage. Traditional dishes like fish and chips, bangers and mash, and roast beef and Yorkshire pudding are staples of British cuisine, and the country has a thriving food scene that includes world-class restaurants and food markets. Interesting stories and examples. The UK is home to many interesting stories and examples that demonstrate the country's unique culture and history. Here are a few worth noting. The Tower of London. The Tower of London is one of the UK's most famous landmarks, and it has a long and storied history. Built in the 11th century, the tower has served as a royal palace, a fortress, and a prison. It is also home to the crown jewels, including the famous Koh-i-Noor diamond. One interesting story about the Tower of London involves the ravens that live there. Legend has it that if the ravens ever leave the tower, the monarchy will fall. To prevent this from happening, the tower keeps at least 6 ravens on its grounds at all times, with a raven master in charge of their care. The British Museum. The British Museum is one of the world's greatest museums, with a collection that spans human history from prehistoric times to the present day. One of the most famous artifacts in the museum's collection is the Rosetta Stone, which was instrumental in deciphering hieroglyphics. Another interesting item in the British Museum's collection is the Elgin Marbles, a collection of classical Greek sculptures that were taken from the Parthenon in Athens in the early 19th century. The marbles remain a source of controversy, with Greece claiming that they were stolen and should be returned. The Beatles. The Beatles are one of the UK's most famous bands, and their influence on music and culture is still felt today. The band formed in Liverpool in 1960 and quickly rose to fame, becoming one of the most popular and successful bands of all time. The Beatles' music was groundbreaking, blending elements of rock and roll, pop, and folk music. Their lyrics were often poetic and introspective, tackling topics like love, peace, and social change. The band's style and image also had a major impact on popular culture, with their mop-top haircuts, matching suits, and playful personalities becoming a worldwide phenomenon. One interesting story about the Beatles involves their famous rooftop concert in 1969. The band had grown tired of touring and performing live, and instead decided to play a surprise concert on the roof of their Apple Corps headquarters in London. The concert was cut short by the police, but it remains one of the most iconic moments in rock and roll history. The Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution had a profound impact on the UK, transforming the country from a largely agrarian society to an industrial powerhouse. The revolution began in the late 18th century and continued into the 19th century, with new inventions and technologies revolutionizing the way goods were produced. One interesting example of the Industrial Revolution's impact on the UK is the textile industry. Manchester, in particular, became known as the Cottonopolis of the world, with textile mills dotting the city and providing employment for thousands of people. The mills also had a major impact on the environment, with pollution and poor working conditions becoming major issues. How was England formed? England was formed over a period of several centuries, through a complex process of cultural, political, and social transformation. The earliest known inhabitants of what is now England were Celtic tribes, who migrated to the area around 500 BC. The most famous of these tribes were the Britons, who gave their name to the island of Great Britain. In the 1st century AD, the Roman Empire conquered Britain and established a province called Britannia. The Romans built roads, towns, and forts throughout the province, and their influence can still be seen in many aspects of English culture and language. After the collapse of the Roman Empire in the 5th century, Britain was invaded by a series of Germanic tribes, including the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes. These tribes established small kingdoms throughout the region, and by the 7th century, a powerful kingdom called Mercia had emerged in central England. In the 9th century, a new kingdom called Wessex arose in the south, under the leadership of King Alfred the Great. Alfred is credited with unifying the various Anglo-Saxon kingdoms and establishing a system of government that would eventually evolve into the English monarchy. The Norman conquest of England in 1066 marked another major turning point in the country's history. William the Conqueror, a French nobleman, defeated the English king Harold Godwinson and established a new dynasty of Norman kings. The Normans brought with them a new language, French, which eventually blended with the Anglo-Saxon language to form Middle English. Over the centuries that followed, England continued to evolve politically and culturally. The Magna Carta, signed in 1215, established the principle of the rule of law and limited the power of the monarchy. The Tudor dynasty, which ruled from 1485 to 1603, oversaw the English Renaissance and the rise of Protestantism. In 1707, England and Scotland officially united to form the Kingdom of Great Britain, and in 1801, Ireland was added to create the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. The 20th century saw major social and political changes in England, including the rise of the Labour Party and the creation of the National Health Service. Today, England is a modern, multicultural country with a rich history and a unique identity shaped by centuries of cultural exchange and political transformation. In addition to its historical and cultural significance, England has also been a major player in global politics and economics. The British Empire, which reached its peak in the 19th century, was one of the largest and most powerful empires in history, with colonies and territories spanning the globe. The legacy of the British Empire can still be seen in many parts of the world today, including the legal systems, political institutions, and language. England's contributions to the world of literature, science, and art are also significant. Some of the most influential writers in the English language, such as William Shakespeare, Jane Austen, and Charles Dickens, were born in England. The country has also been home to many groundbreaking scientists and inventors, including Isaac Newton, Charles Darwin, and Tim Berners-Lee, who invented the World Wide Web. England has also had a major impact on popular culture, with its music, film, and television industries influencing audiences around the world. The Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and Adele are just a few examples of English musicians who have achieved global success. English films and television shows, such as James Bond and Doctor Who, are also popular worldwide. Despite its many contributions to the world, England has faced its share of challenges and controversies throughout its history. The country has been involved in numerous wars and conflicts, including World War I and World War II. It has also struggled with issues related to class, race, and identity, as well as tensions with other countries, such as Ireland and Scotland. Today, England is a diverse and vibrant country, with a population of more than 56 million people. It is home to many world-renowned institutions, such as Oxford and Cambridge universities, as well as iconic landmarks such as Big Ben, Stonehenge, and the Tower of London. The country's cultural, political, and economic influence is still felt around the world, making it a fascinating and important country to study and explore. Conclusion. The United Kingdom is a country with a rich history and culture, shaped by centuries of monarchies, wars, and social change. Its government is a parliamentary system, its culture is diverse and influential, and its people are known for their resilience and sense of humor. From the Tower of London to the Beatles, the UK has many interesting stories and examples that showcase its unique identity and impact on the world. In the land of mist and green, where history and legend intertwine, lies a country unlike any seen, with beauty that will surely shine. From the highlands of Scotland to the cliffs of Dover White, the United Kingdom stands grand, a beacon of culture and might. And at its heart lies England, a land of kings and queens, of poets and playwrights that transcend, to inspire us through the ages it seems. The Thames flows gently through the city, where the Tower and Big Ben stand tall, a reminder of a proud history, and the strength that England recalls. From the Lake District to Cornwall, and every town and village in between, England's beauty has enthralled. For centuries it has been seen. And let us not forget the people, whose spirit and strength are unmatched, their humor and wit so ample, their kindness can never be detached. So here's to the United Kingdom, and the land of England so fair. May their stories forever live on, and their legacy never fade in the air. ***, start planning your next global adventure with ease and convenience with our Booking.com referral link. https://www.booking.com/index.html $aid equals 79893335 as a great choice to plan your next trip. You can find and book flights, hotels, cars, and local attractions all in one place, and their price match guarantee ensures you're getting the best deal. Thank you for kind support our AnHub Metaverse channel, and please watch more interesting videos here.